Hey, everybody, welcome to the America Guns and Freedom podcast with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. As always, this is just an open chat. The topics are set by you. You decide what we talk about. So ask whatever questions you want to ask, suggest whatever topics you want to hear my opinion on, and I'll do my best to address them. If I can't answer a question, maybe someone in the live chat can. There's a lot of people over there, so pay attention to the live chat. Participate in the live chat. Talk amongst yourselves all you like. This is a place where you can get together with like-minded individuals and talk about common interests for some time every day. So feel free to do that. As always, I like to start off by reading what people have bought merchandise. That's a really bad sentence, isn't it? What people done bought merchandise. I want to read the names of the people that have purchased merchandise, which supports TYMPP. See, I can talk normal when I want to. Use my TV voice from back in the day. We got Tom Buckley. Tom Buckley got a couple of mugs. He got the All Nine Lives Matters mugs. All Nine Lives Matter. We got Fernando Luna. Got the Don't Point Your Glock at Your Cock shirt. You know, the one that I was wearing in the live chat yesterday. I think that maybe that's what spurred him to buy it, maybe. And also Corey Cockrell. Corey Cockrell also got the Don't Point Your Glock at Your Cock shirt. Oh, well, hell, his last name's Cock, pretty much. So he got one too. That's the shirt I was wearing yesterday. So thanks to those people for buying merchandise. That does go support TYMPP. If you want to help support the channel, this is an independent channel. We take no advertising money. We don't do kickback discount codes. We don't do anything like that. We only do what we do through the generosity of the viewers, because that way I'm only loyal to the viewers and I get to stay true to myself. If you take money from advertisers, manufacturers, legal groups, political organizations, then you end up starting to have to say what they say. You have to read their scripts and protect their interests. And we don't want to do that here. So if you want to support the channel and keep it that way, go over buy merchandise. There's links to things over there like be a sheepdog, not a sheep. You used to be able to get the Peek-a-Pew, but you can't get that no more. I got busted for that one. So buy merchandise, become a patron, become a subscribe star member. You can get patches and everything. We've got some new patches coming in here pretty soon. So go on over, get yourself some cool patches and help support the programs. Or you can donate at a one-time level. And you can also sign up over there to be a beneficiary of TYMPP if you like. You can do all of that from TYMPpistolproject.com, which is written right here. I had it covered. You can see it now. You can go over there, help support the channel, keep us independent, keep us doing the things we want to do. And there's multiple ways to do it. And with that being said, let's get to the questions over here. See if there's any questions coming in. Today is the 6th. That was a purchase. And then we got Dale Rickety weighing in. Dale Rickety. He says, I have no decent questions. Sorry, Yank. On the other hand, I know everything, so I have no need to. Well, at your age, you should know everything. You know everything you need to know by now. But you're probably facing the same thing I am, that being this age and knowing what we know, you can't really afford to learn nothing new because it pushes something else out because our heads are full. So every day we forget things, and it's because we learned something new. So quit teaching us new shit. Young people, it's not good for us at our age. Chrissy Jones is spending more money. He's already spent a bunch of money today. He needs to chill. Hail Phil 40 and save the Phils. I think he got that backwards. I have no desire to hunt, but I do want to get into distance shooting with my K11 carbine. What is a good place to start? Know nothing about scopes, by the way. Well, you come to the right place, because I don't know nothing about scopes either. I'm not really a scope shooter. I'm not a long distance shooter, not a hunter. When I used to hunt, I almost never hunt with a rifle. I was a bow hunter. We owned a lot of acreage out in the middle of a game reserve. You really didn't have to try real hard to hunt out there. So we were more bow hunters in my family than anything else. So, and I will never, ever, ever kill anything with a bow ever person, and I absolutely have to. So I've told that story to people on here before, and it is super sad and makes me cry, and I don't want to tell it again. But I don't know nothing about no long distance shooting either. I don't know nothing about no long distance shooting. Might as well gone with the wind there. But yeah, I don't know much about scopes either. So I'm sure there's people in here that do, though, and I'm sure they'll help you out. Everybody tell Gummy Wuzzle where's a good place to start. So I don't know. I have a couple hunting rifles with scopes on it. I have a zombie rifle with a scope on it, but I don't know much about them. I'm not a scope guy. I mean, I understand the basics, but other than that, I don't know what the fuck's going on. But that was Gummy Wuzzle, Chrissy Jones. Stephen Mays, or as I say in this country, Corn. Yes, Yankee, carrying a weapon in house of worship is a sin. It makes the house of worship unclean. It makes what is holy unholy. Well, see, there's a different opinion. But I mean, what with him being Native American and stuff, I assume he's probably very spiritual. So there's a different opinion on it. See, I told you there were some people that thought that you shouldn't carry weapons into a church. Told you. People don't listen to me, but I told you. Jeffrey Vaughn pleads $2 tithe to Phil so he don't get Lyme disease. Should make a shirt says, avoid Lyme disease, pay tithe. What are your thoughts on the pistols with bolts instead of slides? Oh, the C96 broom handle Mauser, Luger, Rothsteyr, and Ruger's Mark Series 1022 pistols. I'm fine with them. I mean, it depends on what they're for. I mean, they're never going to take the place of tilting barrel or blowback design pistols, but I mean, there's a place for them. I like them. I think they're cool even sometimes. So I got no problem with them. Plus, you can get those ones that are like in crazy calibers. You know, like I want a 30-06 in a pistol. You know, those kind of things. So I mean, I don't really have like any thoughts on them as if like they're the way to go for anything. No, they're novelty. They're cool. They're for people who want something different. And then there's some of them, they're just basically generic, like the little 22 models and stuff like that of them. But I think they're cool. But like I said, they're not going to replace reciprocating slides and tilting barrels, anything like that. They're just not. But they are kind of cool. John M. Mandrick chimed in. John M. Mandrick and says, should we read anything into the SCOTUS ruling against Mexico where the liberal judges acknowledged that the AR-15, AK, etc. were in large and common use legal purposes? I don't think we need to read much into it because I think the court's already signaled that it would rule in favor of people saying that AR-15s are common use. Although I don't like the common use argument. I think that's one of the worst arguments we can use because it sets us up for, the automatic weapons aren't common use. Well, that's only because you've banned them. You know, so I don't know. I don't like that argument on its face, but there's no denying that the most bought rifle in America is a common use rifle. You can't deny that, period. But I think that's one of the main reasons they didn't take up the case this time, because they knew if they took up the case, they would have to rule that way because they've been giving it lip service for so long that if they turn around and rule differently, then that would just expose them for the total frauds they are. And they can't do that. And I got a thing today from one of the gun groups, GOA, I do believe it was, my least favorite of the gun groups, now that the NRA is neutered, saying, oh, Judge Kavanaugh gave us a gift. He said within the next couple, soon they were going to weigh in on the assault weapons bans and magazine limits. Like he said, within the next couple of sessions, possibly. That means, going to be a couple of years before they get around to ruling on something they pretty much already ruled on, but don't want to enforce. That's not a gift, especially when they just passed up the opportunity about 17 times recently on being able to settle it once and for all. So I don't consider that a gift. But I think it's clear how the case has to go. It's just getting them to hear the case is, as we all know, the difficult part. Jeffrey Vaughn says, what do you think of rebarreling antique guns and putting them back into service as a range toy with regular or even heavy use? I'm fine with it. Not everything that's old is special. I mean, look at me. I'm old. Dale Wrigley's old. He ain't special. If you had choice, I'm sure right now, if Dale Rick and his wife had a chance of not rebarreling him, but getting a new model, trading him in, of course. Just like I said, everything that's old ain't valuable, ain't good, or special. So I'm okay with taking old antique guns and fixing them up. Even like someone gets an heirloom, and even if it is a desirable gun, let's say you got a collectible gun, like something that's, people desire, and it's in pretty rough shape because it's old. Let's say your grandfather carried it every day, and you want to refinish it. A lot of people say, no, don't. It's old. It's got value. I'm saying refinish it anyway. What's more important to you? That little bit of money you can make off of it, or having a gun that looks good that was once on the hip of your grandfather and now is on your hip. I think the latter is way more important to me. I don't know about you, but to me it is. So I'm a firm believer of taking older guns and restoring them however you want to do it, even if they are valuable, but especially when they're not. If they're not valuable, if you could take a gun out of the garbage basically and make it something that's viable again, why wouldn't you? I say go for it. Do it. All right. That was Jeffrey Vaughn again. He got a couple good questions today. Carl Lane, who should be saving his money for surgery, not. To carry is everyone's individual right and responsibility. Whether you agree or not, our rights have to be defended, and sometimes by force. Lead us to the promised land, Yankee. I go where you go. Oh, I wouldn't follow me. Oh, nobody should follow me, especially if I've just had cottage cheese or coffee. You don't want to follow me because where I'm going is going to be not a pleasant place to be. At least you won't be within a few minutes. So I wouldn't follow me very closely. You're in the splash zone if you follow me too closely, if you know what I mean, at my age. But yes, of course, we have to defend our rights with force sometimes. Joe Pearson chimed in and said, don't forget Sunday, you and me, Texas death match. You want before or after your chat? Ooh, Sunday? I'd say probably before would be better. So make sure I know and remember. Let me know Saturday night. But yeah, probably before would be better. Let's see here. That was Joe Pearson. And then we got Micah D weighing in. Micah D. And he said, another shot at the super secret 1022 stock giveaway. Wink, wink. LOL. Because Paul needs a hand and donate to Coral's Puppy Bubbles. Yes, everybody donate to Coral's Puppy Bubbles. There's a link in the chat where you can go over and donate. It's going gangbusters right now, thanks to big donations from people, from donations from everyone. Everybody's been donating. We got donations from Jimmy Johns, Michael D, Joe Pearson, John Mandrick, Michael White, Martin Nwaguin, who is pissing me off. Although I can't get too mad at him because he's like my number one sugar daddy. So I can't be too mad at him, but he's driving me to hookers and candy. Clinton Barella, Christopher Jones, John Heasley, Bobby well, that's Welper. Anonymous, Jeff Patterson, Tim Allen, and another anonymous. So thanks to those people for donating. We're up to $475 already. I thought this was going to take a week. We might not take a week. That'd be best. All right, let's move on. Why did I just do all? Oh, it's because Mikey D said donate. I'm like, why am I reading the fundraiser? What's going on? Jose Vega. Used to have a Vega, Chevy Vega. That was a horrible, horrible car. It looked nice. I liked the way it looked, but it had no power. And if it ever overheated, you warped the heads because it had aluminum heads and they weren't sleeved. Luckily, I never did that. But I remember I gave it to my sister when I was going away to basic training. I said, you can have it. And she didn't have a license, so she didn't want to keep it. So I sold it and gave her the money. And I remember I asked $500 for it. That's what I paid for it when I bought it. It was $500. I asked $500 for it again because I'd cleaned it up, prettied it up, pretty handy, fixed up some things. But the brakes were bad. And a guy I knew, something Jordan. What was his first name? Carl Jordan, I think maybe. He came out and looked. Andy Jordan, that was his name, Andy Jordan. He came out and looked at it and said, can I take it for test drive? I was like, sure, here's the keys. He came back and says, the brakes don't work. I was like, well, yeah, if the brakes work, I'd ask $700 for it. He did end up buying it. A little story from my life. Sweetie is an asshole because he said, bought a new gun today, Ruger American 22 mag, put scope and bipod on it. What are you hunting? Hamsters? Wild hamsters, wild, crazy hamsters. Jacoby, you show your wife love by sending pictures of you? No, I don't show nobody love by sending them pictures of me. That don't seem like a nice thing to do to somebody you love. Like maybe if someone really pissed me off, I might send them like boudoir photos of me or nudies, nudelets, whatever. What do you call those when you're shooting nude pic? Nudies? Like I might send John Martin the Wagwin one if he don't cut it out. Stop being so magnanimous. Making me seem like a bad person, feel like a bad person. I have a question I always wanted to bring up. Let's see if you like it to use it. What? That was from Jose Vega, but he didn't say nothing. He just said, I have a question I'd like to bring up. Let's see if you like to use it. But then he didn't ask anything. So I don't know what's going on there. I do know Edward Howerton chimed in again. He won a little knife last night. By the way, I will be giving one of these away tonight too. So, religion is the worst affliction to ever be suffered upon mankind. It has set us back thousands of years in advancement and led to death of countless millions. My sky wizard is right. I don't disagree too much. Not a big fan of religion myself. I can't really disagree with him much. But modern religion is a little different. They've modernized it, so they've had to, or else it would have disappeared. Yankee, did you and the boys ever try the new augmented reality theaters? Took the wife today, pretty good. The enclosed headset of VR, not spectacular, but fun. My son has one of those VR headset things, the game, and my best friend, I bought him one for Christmas. I have never used it. He's tried to get me several times to play a game on it. I'm like, I don't play games. So he said, but these, you don't even got to, just use your hand. I'm like, not interested in virtual reality. I find enough amazing stuff in real life. I don't need to go to virtual reality. Plus, they make me a little nauseous. That when you go to the movie theaters and they're in 3D and they give you glasses, I can't go to those because it gives me a splitting headache, makes me a little nauseous. So the VR headsets are kind of the same thing. Anything that goes on my face, I just can't. Even goggles, like going snorkeling, can't do it long or I get a splitting headache. So I've never tried it. My son, like I said, he's got one of those VR games, that white one, what's it called? That was expensive. Let's see here. I just answered that one. I'm looking at the wrong thing. That was Stephen Elbert, by the way. Clinton Barella, you can stand under my Barella. For the double super secret stock giveaway or hookers and candy. Oh, yeah, I would like to spend some money on hookers and candy. More candy than hookers. I miss candy. I used to eat candy every now and then. I ain't been able to eat it for a while. And every great once in a while, I'll get myself a Milky Way and I'll throw it in the freezer. And on my cheat day, I'll eat me a frozen Milky Way. But I don't get to eat a lot of candy. I've never been like, chocolate, big chocolate eater or anything like that. But I do like gummy bears. I love them. When I was in Germany, I got hooked on gummy bears. You used to buy them over there in a bucket, like a 5-gallon bucket of them. And I would eat them every day till I was sick. Loved them. I love the gummy candies. I like Sour Patch Kids, even though they tear the roof of my mouth up. I like peanut M&Ms, but I've had to quit eating peanut M&Ms, period, even if I didn't have the diabetes. Because I was noticing that when I would eat the peanut M&Ms at the movie theater, I'm like, my mouth is numb. I can't feel my mouth. So I was told, you need to stop eating peanut M&Ms. You're developing a peanut allergy. So, and it's true. If I eat peanut M&Ms, my mouth goes completely numb. It's like I've had Novocaine shots. So I've quit eating the peanut M&Ms too, even though I liked them. And chocolate covered almonds, I like those. Those don't seem to bother me as bad, I don't think, as the peanut M&Ms. Ghost Shadow says, Yankee has seen VR strip poker. I don't know that I have. I don't like that kind of thing. It's just not my thing. I don't know about other people, but they can do what they want, but it's not my thing. Where am I at? I've lost my place. Is this you, Yankee? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's someone that asked me, is this you, Yankee? And let's see here. Where was I at? I answered Clinton Barella. Oh, John Baloney Jr.'s here. I ain't seen him in a while. I don't know where he's been hiding. How can I donate to the puppy that needs help? P's and V's. Welper, would you put the link into the puppy again? There'll be a link in the live chat. I think Welper will put it in there. I know he's got it. Let's see how long it takes him. Come on, let's see how long it takes him. Will you please sign my knife before sending it? Well, I'm not sure where I'd sign it. I'll see, but I don't know where. Not sure where I'd sign it is the thing. Could maybe laser engrave it on the blade or something. I don't know. There it is. Welper put the puppy fundraiser in there. It's in there. So boom, go over there. You can donate to the puppy. That's Coral's puppy, Bubbles. In case some of you ain't seen him, here's Bubbles. Open image in new tab. Wait, why did it not do that? Open image in new tab. There we go. Here's Bubbles. This is one of our own puppy, Welper, or not Welper, Coral. Welper put the link in. But there he is. There's the puppy. Look at that puppy. Oh, he's a sweet puppy. So that's who you're helping. Let's see. Where was I? Read that about signing the knife. Jacoby says, Mr. Retiree joining a brass jazz band for you. What? Mr. Retiree joining a brass jazz band for you? Well, I don't play any instruments, so I don't know how good I'd be in a band. I have no musical talent. I was born with a birth defect that makes it hard for me to do stuff like that. I was born without rhythm. So, I have to... Like when you're clapping along with a song, I have to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, or I'll get off rhythm. You have to watch me. I'll be sitting there thinking 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2. So where was I at? That was John Baloney Jr., who asked how can he donate to the puppy. Chrissy Jones once again chiming in. I told him to start saving money. If a vampire cop comes to your door, do you have to let him in if he has a warrant? Oh, no. If he's a vampire, I'm not even letting him in with a warrant. Because here's the thing, he can't force his way in, even with the warrant. So that's kind of like I wish all cops were vampires, because even if they got a warrant, they can't come in until you invite them. So, screw them. So, no, you don't let them in. What is the best caliber for vampires? Well, guns don't really do a lot of good for them unless you got a bullet that can, has a wooden core and you can shoot them in the heart with that. Like this Vampire Slayer round. See, it's solid silver, so it works for werewolves. But as you can see there, it's the hollow point and it's got a wood core. So, or a wood, little piece of wood put down into the hollow point. So, there you go. It takes out vampires. Yeah, shoot them in the heart, though. Let's see here. Where are we? That was Gummy Wuzzle again. Jose Vega chimed in again here and said, not sure what happened, but let's try it again. If you could bring back one defunct gun brand, well, I don't know why that was so hard for me to read. I got a bad stammer. Y'all know that. Defunct gun brand and give them $1 billion budget. Who's getting the resurrection and what would they build first? Oh, goddamn, that's a hard question. I mean, who are the defunct gun brands? This might sound crazy, but maybe something like AMT. They made some pretty interesting designs. Maybe them. I'm going to say them. If it got to be something more recent, well, maybe the Hudson. They made a really cool gun. I'd like to see what they do with a really big budget. But yeah, I think it would be AMT, to be honest. I would like to see what they would come up with, modern versions of their old guns. And probably some new creative stuff. See, that question made sense before he didn't answer the question. Christian Carlson. Worth it to Cerakote an EC9S slide? Thinking of Zombie Green. Well, I mean, if you want to do it, of course it is. Are you doing it yourself at home, or are you paying someone to do it? And if you're paying someone to do it, it depends on what they're charging, because people are so seriously overcharged for just a solid color. If you can get yourself a hold of a little air compressor and a airbrush, you can do them yourself, like for next to nothing. So I'd say do it yourself at home, especially if you got like an extra oven you can put out in your garage or something. It'd be great to have for something like that. I keep looking into doing that, but I never get around to it because I'm cheap. But I would love to be able to use our old oven, but I would have had to encase it in a wall out here because it was in the wall oven. But couldn't. All right, where are we at? We're almost out of time, and we haven't really got through everything yet. But that got us finally caught up with the super chats. Let me see if we got anything email coming in. I think we got one email. And it says, let me share it. Window, boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Speaking of old things, new service 45 Colt. What would you recommend I do for this poor revolver? It's going to require a lot of stripping because I do believe that's nickel, right? So that would require a lot of stripping. You'd probably take it and have a chemical bath to get it stripped off. But I mean, strip it down, take all the plating off of it, give it a nice Cerakote, and have a cool gun. Nice, or have it blued. If you can send somewhere and have it blued, oh my goodness. Talk about, but that we're getting into a lot of money there on a gun that, you're really doing it out of love because it ain't gonna be worth the money. Yeah, I would, or you can leave it like it is. It's still gonna shoot. Put it in a display box. Put it on the wall. All right, let me get over here to the live chat, see if we can get to some questions before we're done here. Native American sites on BLM. Ever been to BLM land? Also overlanding, paragliding, and long range shooting on BLM land. Ever been scuba diving? I've been. I have scuba dived. I will never do it again. I did it for about a total of 5 minutes before I panicked and said, "No." They're like, "You don't get your money back." I'm like, "I don't care. I'm not going to get my life back either if I stay down there any longer because something's going to eat me or I'm going to die of a heart attack." So, plus it felt like my head was being crushed. I just didn't like it. But yeah, I don't know what he's asking about the other stuff. Will you please? I saw that. Bush avoided Trump at Carter funeral. Also saw a stuffed cougar at indoor gun range today. They have very sharp claws. Well, yeah, they're a big old cat. I guess I don't think the Bush family does not like Trump. They hate his guts. In the Peanuts cartoon, Lucy and Linus must have been Dutch because their last name was Van Pelt. Yeah, they do have an odd last name. I didn't know that was their last name. A Massachusetts man's brain blew up from a tick-borne disease called Powassan virus. It's scary to think that ticks carry anything that dangerous. Yeah, stay away from ticks. You're lucky if you get Lyme disease. So if Phil sends a tick after you like he did Peter DeBoner, you might end up with that. Or like one of them brain-eating amoebas, you can get those just from swimming in the wrong water. The Union Jack flag appears inside of the Hawaiian flag, even though Hawaii was never occupied by the British. I think the Union Jack should be removed. Well, it's probably got something to do with something else. I don't know much about the whole thing. I've been to Hawaii a few times, but I don't know much about I don't know if I ever even seen their flag. You're a God hater. At the indoor range, they have some cool side-by-side. Well, that's kind of veered off topic. No, how do you hate something you don't believe exists? That's like saying I hate the tooth fairy. That goddamn bitch. She'll get hers. At the indoor range, they had some cool side-by-sides and derringers. 3D movies are torture. I don't know why people go to them. Ever watch Meat Eater? I don't know what Meat Eater is, but so I assume no. And yes, I hate 3D movies. They make my head hurt. Laser etch the blade or handle. That's something I could do that. I've got it set up for laser etching right now. As soon as I get the little platform built to put the a stock on there, I'll be good to go. And then I could also do the blade of a knife. Just do my little TYM with the the revolver or the gun kind of thing where my initials look like a gun. Just do that on there. Recently, there were 5 street takeovers in one night in Portland. Those punks tore up the streets with their cars. I take it that you avoid those events. Well, I mean, I have gotten stuck behind one once. We were going to a comedy show, and there was one right there in Gresham, right where we need to go through. So I just turned off a road earlier and went down and added like 3 minutes to my trip. So it wasn't like the worst thing I'd ever faced in the world. I wasn't like, oh my God, they need to round them up and shoot them. I'm like, oh, there's kids being jerks. However, I can't say that if I was 18 years old or whatever, that I wouldn't be there doing it. That wasn't a thing when I was a kid, but we did similar. We did stuff like that in my hometown. It's just that it never bothered anybody because there's nobody fuck around. Once the street lights came on, the street lights went off. So it was like nobody on the roads. So I'd probably be there doing it too. But yeah, I avoid them because I don't go downtown. I try never to go to town, but I have been stuck behind them once or twice. Just drive a road over. It's like people are like, oh my God, these people who have these rallies where they block the street, they ought to all go to prison. I'm like, nah, I'm okay with people protesting. I'm okay with civil disobedience. And if it means I have to drive 1 block out of my way, that's really a small price to pay for freedom. Are you sure Phil will protect your soda? Well, Phil won't protect anything of mine. I got protected myself. I went ahead and drank all of it in case you were planning on doing something. anytime someone mentions gummy bears, I think of the scene from Ferris Bueller's Day Off where the girl offers her principal a warm gummy bear on the school bus. Yeah, it's because it's been in her pocket or something. I don't like them warm. I don't want them warm and soft. I like them stale and just, a little bit firm. I don't like fresh out of the package. The way I would eat mine, like if I get like a little bag of them, I don't like open the bag and eat them. I open the bag, I leave it on the counter. I come back probably the next morning and I eat them. I like them to be a little stale. So I have to think ahead of time. I have to be a day ahead of the curve. Like if I was in the living room eating a bag of gummy bears, there was probably another bag sitting next to the refrigerator open because that was tomorrow's gummy bears. It's because I got good sense. Meat Eater went fishing for beautiful red salmon in Alaska. You would watch Meat Eater. I'm not sure. You should watch Meat Eater. Still don't know what it's about. How many people go to a public gym for legitimate purposes? A lot of people. There's gym rats everywhere go to gyms. There's a lot of people just live in fucking gyms. I've never been one of those people who like, I'm addicted to the gym. I'm like, well, I don't understand how you'd be addicted to exercise. I sent you the email about the NASA logo inspired by Phil. Yeah, I saw it. It looks more like an alien to me. I don't know what everybody else thinks. Here, I'll show it. Boop, boop. So that's the National Security Agency. Nothing is beyond our reach. Well, that's kind of ominous, in my opinion. Kind of threatening. And that looks more like an alien than an octopus to me. Like maybe octopuses are aliens. Maybe they know something we don't know. All right. I think we are about out of time here. And make sure we're all caught up. We are. Bush paints portraits of refugees and wounded vets and gives proceeds to charity. He calls this compassionate conservatism. Not many are happy with his new progressive image. Well, I thought they were all for compassionate conservatism back in the day. Ever fish for stalked? I'm not a fisherman. I don't like fishing. But that's going to do it for us today because we are out of time. Thanks to everybody who participated today. Thanks everybody who kept the conversation going. It was a much better day than yesterday. Yesterday was a snooze fest. So thank you. I appreciate it. I like when you all think of things. As soon as we sign off here, we're going to do the drawing. So stick around for that. I've actually got two to do, one for the t-shirt and one for the knife. So hold on for that. I hope to see everybody again tomorrow. I appreciate everything you do for the channel. I hope I'll see you again later. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe till I see you again. Hey everybody, Yankee here. Before we go, I just want to take a second to remind everyone that this channel is 100% viewer funded. We don't take a penny from advertisers, retailers. We don't take money from political organizations. There's no one telling me what I need to tell you. Everything that we do is done through the generosity of our viewers, either buying merchandise or becoming a patron or a Subscribe Star member. You're all the ones that support Pets and Vets and TYMPP. And that's the reason I can stay true to myself and loyal only to the people who watch my channel. And I can spend my time talking about what I want to talk about, telling what I think needs to be said, and giving you my uncensored take on things I think you need to hear. So if you'd like to help keep things that way, please support the channel by becoming a patron, a Subscribe Star supporter, or just going over to my web store and buying some merch. The links are all in the upper corner of this video.